Hello and welcome to the Making a Husband podcast with me, Tez Ilyas, comedian, author, actor, watcher of things on streaming channels, and also part-time fragrance connoisseur. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that was shorter than I expected.
Was it? What were
Yeah,
you expecting?
I thought you were just going to add in like something to do with like actor.
Yeah, I did say actor.
No, something related to what you were doing. The big thing, what we're going to talk about.
Oh no, but that's later.
Okay.
And with me this week
Is,
is,
you're supposed to, as always,
as always, until the day we die.
is Tez's very patient, very intelligent. I'll say intelligent because you'll know why in a second.
Wow.
Wife,
Are you saying that about yourself?
wife/civilian Shy Ilyas.
Yay.
Yay, woo!
Guys, for those of you that haven't been listening to us in the podcast audio form only, welcome to our podcast.
Yeah.
This is us.
Yeah, it
We've
feels
decided-
weird, right?
Yeah, we decided to take it to video.
Yeah.
So normally we probably don't get this dressed up
No,
to record the podcast. We're normally in our pajamas.
I'm usually in my gown.
We're at home.
Yeah,
Say pajamas.
pajamas.
Stuff like that.
This is why I was being sarcastic about the intelligent part.
This is the podcast. Welcome.
Welcome. What was I gonna say? It's gonna bug me now. Oh yeah, it feels really weird doing this because I'm not used to this at all. Cameras are all Tez. It's not me.
Cameras, lighting,
Yeah.
studio. We built the studio, by the way.
Yeah, it looks amazing. If you guys have been following, they've done very, very well. I've not done anything, I'll be honest with you. I may have just brought this in and put this on.
So it's me and Shabazz. We built the studio.
Yeah, well done.
Well done, us.
Well done. That was a really random intro to our first video.
The intros, guys, don't judge the podcast on the intros because the
40th
intros,
episode in.
the intros will never be better than this.
Yeah.
It will always be a little bit shambolic. Right, Shy.
Right, Tez?
What did I do this week?
What did you do this week? Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about why I actually shaved my beard off.
Yeah, because
and had
that's very
this
important.
Mustached face.
Mm.
So the reason is because I got a acting part, a very small acting part, but it was a very cool acting part in this Channel 4 documentary,
Mm-hmm.
which is about the Suez Canal crisis.
The what?
Suez Canal.
Suez.
Suez. S-U-E-Z.
Suez.
It's pronounced Suez. They
Suez.
pronounce it Suez. I think they
Suez.
pronounce it Suez.
Mm.
So that's the canal that connects the Arabian Sea to the Mediterranean.
Yep.
And it cuts through Egypt, basically. And it was a way, otherwise, before that, ships had to go all the way around Africa
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
to bring things in from like India and China to Europe.
Yep.
Whereas now, with the Suez Canal, you could cut through the Arabian Peninsula and straight into Europe.
Wow.
So it basically saved weeks and weeks, if not months, of shipping time.
Yep. And
And we use it to this day. So basically, it was run by the British and French as they kind of jointly owned it and then therefore got all the money from it, even though it was in Egypt.
Right.
Classic colonialism.
Yeah, I was gonna.
And then I think Egypt basically wanted to make a dam in Egypt, unrelated to the canal. They wanted to make a dam in Egypt.
Right.
And they were going to get funding of the Americans and the British to do it.
Mhm.
And then they pulled out of the funding. The
Who
British and
did?
Americans
Wow.
said, we're not going to fund it, actually. And then
That's a bit naughty.
then the president at the time, Jamal Abdel Nasser, he was like, oh, we're going to do it. And then he goes, you know what, actually, let's just take the canal back. Because
Yeah.
it's our canal anyway.
Mhm.
So he basically kicked the French and the British out. The Israelis got involved,
Mhm.
obviously. And then they basically had to like fight a war against them. Then they asked the Americans for help. Then the Americans helped the Egyptians and kicked the French out and the British out and the Israelis out. And then the Egyptians basically ran the Suez Canal.
That's
I'm sure they
interesting.
made some concessions to America for it.
Yeah.
But basically, in this documentary, which tells the story of this, I've just spoiled the entire documentary.
Watch it, guys.
Yeah, which tells the story of this. They needed background actors to play the different characters.
Right.
And
What
so
were you...
I played the president of Egypt,
Oh,
Gamal Abdel Nasser, even though I don't know a word of Arabic.
that's a really good role, though.
I don't really look that much like him, but I look more like him than you do, for example. He was just an old sexy man with a mustache. And so I just had to like pretend to beam in the background where they were like, when they were like looking at old war maps
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
yeah, we need to move troops here, we need to do that. I was just basically like doing some acting, doing that,
That's
or like
pretty cool.
looking pensive in his office, like getting worried about the war. What do I do on that? And so I was just doing the background work
Did
for
you
that.
enjoy it?
It was really fun. It was quite as acting jobs go. It's actually very, very easy.
Nice.
So I enjoyed it a lot.
When's it coming out?
Not for a little while.
Oh, sorry. We'll let you guys know.
Yeah, we let you guys know. So that's what I've been up to this week. I was acting. I was doing
Acting.
my job.
He's doing his
They
job.
sent me all the way to Norwich though.
That's far.
Yeah,
Didn't
too
we do a
far.
day trip once to
We
Norwich?
did 2-day trips to Norwich.
This is how much of a nice wife I am. I supported this man and we drove all the way to Norwich and back. And I think it was on a Sunday and I had work the next day. Norwich is like, what, 6 hours from here? I think it's like 6 hours from here. So yeah.
Sorry. So Norwich is about, if you don't stop, it's about just over 5 hours.
Wow.
And so a couple of times, we did this twice since we've been married. I had gigs in Norwich. So we drove to Norwich, did my gig, drove back in the same day.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
What a
That
trooper
is
I am.
Yeah, what a trooper you are. But also I did the driving. So what, and then I had to go work. So what a trooper I am also.
But I would like it if you came to work with me.
Just a couple of troopers. Yeah?
Yeah.
Working from home.
Just
I do come to, I'm with you at work every single day.
yeah, he comes
I
sometimes.
might be in a different room, but I'm at your place of work every day.
Sometimes, guys, he'll come downstairs. Like I work in the living room, and he'll come and he'll just sit in front of me, on his laptop, and I'm like, you can't sit with me and work. You have to go. Like I find it too distracting. I'm like, just go.
I'm similar. I can't work if you're in the room. Like sometimes I do have to work during the day.
I was like, when?
I can't do it when you're in the room. If I'm doing writing, even if I'm just doing admin, I can't do it if you're
I mean,
there.
that's why you've got your own room upstairs for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're very distracting.
I am very distracting.
What have you been up to?
I went to see my mum.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Big Z.
Yeah. Do you know it was so funny because every time I go down to see my family, I just tell my sisters, I don't tell anyone else. And I'm like, don't tell the kids, don't tell the kids. And
As in her nieces and nephews.
and then my nieces and nephews.
Not our kids.
Not our kids. Our kids are at home. And then when I go and I knock on the door and then my niece opens and it's like every single time we'll be like, "Ah," and then we do like this screaming thing. And
What
then
kids do we have at home?
the Bud and Simba.
All right, because I just saw, for some people, this might be their first ever episode.
Yeah.
And they might be like, oh, who
We
are
have
your
2
kids?
bunnies.
We don't have human children. We
We-
have 2 rabbits.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. So yeah, that was really nice, and spent a lot of time with my sisters. Plus, my niece is getting married, so yeah. And my mum's so cute, bless her. She's had a knee replacement, so she had an operation, so she's been a bit unwell. But the girls were rehearsing the dances for the Mendi, so
Oh, yeah, are they good?
yeah, they are. I was well, yeah.
I'm surprised.
And my mum was like, so we got my mum in the wheelchair to bring her to the other room, and my mum was
she learned
like,
to dance
she's
as well?
tapping. She was all like this.
Has she learned to dance?
No, my mum's not dancing.
Forward once, backward twice.
Because my sister was saying that because she wants to do one with my mum, but she'll be pushing the chair. And I said, you could just push mum's chair between us 4 sisters. We could do like a little dance like that.
Oh, yeah. She
So-
could weave in and out like Messi.
You're trying to compare my mum to Messi.
I mean, she's not that good as good
Wow.
at football as Messi is, I assume.
So that was really nice, and I always feel it because sometimes you don't come with me, like, and I don't know if other couples have this, but when you're married and you take your spouse with you to your family home, oh my God, it's distracting because my mom will be like, I feel like I have to babysit him basically.
Why?
Because my mom would be like, oh no, make sure he's okay, make sure you sit with him. Whereas if you're not with me, I can just go out, right? I can see my friends, I can do this. I don't have to worry about you being entertained and plus
when I
you're very
go-
spoiled.
I'm very spoiled. Like Shai's family spoils me so much.
It's too
Like your
much.
sisters, your mum.
Yeah.
They make sure I'm very well fed. Oh, too well fed, to be honest. Too well. They have no regard for my health. Very well fed, very well looked after. And yeah, but also they like me though.
They do, they love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this time my niece was taking the mic and she was like, how's your love? And apparently there was an occasion where the kids were with us. Oh, it was after the wedding we went to in Luton.
Mm.
You went to the petrol station. Apparently you called me and I picked up the phone and I said, oh, hi, love.
And so now they're just gonna
They're like, how's your love now? How's
take the
your
mick
love?
out of you about that.
Yeah. So, but I was like,
It's
listen.
like he's not only is he my love, he's my moon and my stars and my sunshine.
No, I
I
said
would
I can't do
die
that.
for that man. I would give my blood. I would
can't
give
say
my
that
kidneys for
if
that
I
man.
said that to an 11,
I
12
would
year old, they'd be like,
sacrifice
"Ugh."
you, my niece, for that man. All right.
So we have the wedding this week. So
You have the
we're
Mendi this
Mendy
week.
this week, which is one
Mm.
part of the wedding. So we were prepping for that, and there's a lot of prep involved for that. There's a lot to be done. They are doing.
You were trying to rope me into a dance.
I was, yeah.
No.
But so basically, my niece is going to hear this after after her Mendy, so it's fine because the surprise is out there. She'll know by then. So just so you know, we were going to do because she watches this. She listens and watches the podcast. Well, she will watch it now because we're watching it. Just so you know, me and Tez were going to do a surprise Mendy dance for you, but it will change because it's just ladies only. And for the people out there who obviously are not Muslim and listening, when women who wear headscarves, if they're in an all ladies environment, they'll take the headscarves off because there's no men around. Whereas it just wouldn't be fair because if you come in, you know what I mean, they'd have to put their headscarf on and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. They'd be like, oh, the man's here.
The man's here.
Scramble,
Man.
scramble. Put your headscarves back on.
So when I told Ted, he was
So it's
like,
like
"Oh
it's a
no."
ladies only
Yeah.
dance now.
Yeah. So
A
you're
big
not doing it.
big leather party.
And that's disgusting, first of all.
Just what's I'm just
That's
describing what's happening.
disgusting, Tez.
Just describing what's happening.
So yeah, so that's just it really. And I've been so busy with work. I'm so tired. I've been so busy. Like it's unbelievable how busy I've been. You know, I've been really busy.
She has been really busy, guys. I have not stopped hearing about it for weeks now. As you all know, regular listeners, Shy has simultaneously not been well all year
I know.
and been super busy with work all year and super busy with me all year. She's been stressed, she's been overworked, and she's tired.
Yeah, I feel exhausted. I actually did.
How is that different to any other woman?
That's true. I'm not gonna lie, but it's not. It's not any different. But I feel like I'm feeling it more though.
Mm.
I'm feeling it more. So men out there, if you're wives, partners, sisters, mums, whatever, they're exhausted, do something special.
Yeah, just, wash a dish or something.
You've been quite good.
Treat them.
Yeah.
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 Shave your beard off. Get a tash.
You look
Give them
you
little
look very nice.
treats.
This look that you've got really suits you. I think you should do your beard this length, from now on. I think that's it. What do you think?
No, beard is going to come back. I'm not going to lie to you.
That looks really nice.
I know. I look very nice.
So why'd you?
That's it. You got your treat.
The problem is you like we give you some nice like compliments and stuff, and you're like, yeah, of course, no, it's a cool story.
I'm not here to look
Cool
nice.
story, bro.
I'm not here to look nice for anyone. Just here to entertain people.
Is that?
You fancy me anyway. Don't need anyone else to fancy me.
That's true.
You're the only person I need to fancy me.
Oh.
That's it.
Oh.
Don't need. Fuck off. Don't need no one else. We've changed up the podcast slightly.
Yes.
Anyway, for those of you who listen to audio, we've got new segments and we've moved some segments. So what's going on, Shy?
Tez wanted to remove the animal fact of the week. Like he said it to me so nicely as well, and he was like, "Babe, what do you think? Would you mind? Would I mind? Of course I'm gonna mind." I was like, the one thing that I bring to the podcast.
Is that the only thing you bring to the podcast?
The animal fact.
Is an animal fact of the week?
No, but it's just
no
me.
other. You add no other value to the podcast.
It's me, look.
Yeah, that's group.
Yeah, that's an animal. We'll talk about him one day.
He's not an animal.
We'll talk about him.
He's a sentient being.
We'll talk about him one day.
With a conscience and intellect.
So what we're gonna do is we are still we guys, we've still got the animal fact of the week. Let's have a round of applause for people. You can breathe a sigh of relief. It's here.
For some people, sadly, it's come sooner in the podcast than they were expecting, and they're like scrambling for the forward button. How do I skip this bit? Don't, guys. We've changed it up.
Yeah, you'll like this, but you'll like this. So usually I would talk about like an animal of the week that I've come across or something that I'm like, oh, this looks cool. Let's talk about it. But we're going to do something a bit different, aren't we?
From now on, yeah.
From now on,
because
yeah.
it would get a bit rambly.
He doesn't like the fact that I talk too much about the animals. He's like, you get too involved in that, really.
Yeah, and sometimes it becomes half the podcast. So what are we doing?
We are going to talk about. So we're going to talk about an animal anyway. That is part of it. But I'm going to ask you some questions. So it'll be like a little Q&A of how much you know about the animal, and that's how we'll get like the animal fact of the week out.
Oh, like a quiz?
Yeah.
I do love a quiz. I'm very competitive.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know that about me,
He's
I'm
very competitive.
super competitive.
Yeah.
All right, go on. Hit me with your.
Right.
What animal are we doing?
We're going to talk about wombats.
Wombats?
Yeah.
The little cute ones.
Yeah, the little fat chubby
That
ones.
fly into your.
No, the
No.
one that the little chunky one with that. You sent me a TikTok about some woman that was holding one.
Oh yes, I did. Go on.
Right. So
Are they Australian as well?
yeah, they
Australians are
are.
the best random animals, you know.
So let's
Is that a
start.
fact? Is that one of the questions?
Australia, what?
Or is that one of the questions where they're from?
No.
Oh, because I've
That's
smashed
too
that.
easy for you.
Smash that question.
How long do you think they've been around for?
I think wombats have been. Do I get a range?
No.
Just random number.
Yeah.
Just pick a random number.
Yeah.
I think wombats, because they're bad, weird. I think wombats have been around for 26 million years.
40 million. Wrong again.
40 million.
Okay. So,
It's not a bad guess, though.
right, hold on 1 second. I'm just going to get my little notepad. Okay. How fast do you think they could run? Do they run A, 20 miles per hour, B, 35 miles per
Ooh,
hour,
that's
or
fast.
C, 25 miles per hour?
That is all significantly faster than I thought a wombat. If you had guessed, I would have gone like 7 miles per hour. Okay, I think wombats, surely they don't. Or do they run? I
Yeah.
don't even know they run.
Mm.
I think surely it's 20 miles per hour.
25.
Ah,
Wrong again.
Middle. Always go for the middle, guys.
Mm.
She's very predictable. I should have guessed that.
Right. The last one we're going to talk about. How big and heavy do you think they can weigh? 1, 25 kg. 2, 55 kg.
Mhm.
3, 40 kg.
Okay. I don't actually know the answer, but given that I sent you a picture of someone holding a wombat,
Yeah, that was so cute.
that should give me an indication. Like holding 55 kilos would actually be very difficult.
Mm.
20 kilos sounds quite light though. Oh, the other one was 40 kilos, was it? I hope you're playing at home, by the way. This is a great segment to do with your kids. I think wombats weight 40 kilos is also very difficult to hold though. I'm going to say 20 kilos.
40 kilos.
So
Weigh
someone would
up to 40 kilos.
Up to 40. Oh,
Yeah.
up to 40 kilos. I don't think what that person was holding was 40. Try holding 40 kilos. That's very difficult.
Yeah. Should we
So-
go? Where can we go? We have to go to Australia.
Google it. I'm sure there's a British zoo somewhere or a wildlife park or something that has wombats.
So yeah. But lastly, this is just I'm going to throw a quick fact in there because Tez is like, oh, I'm not allowed basically, guys, but I'm just going to quickly say it. When they're born, when wombat babies are born, they're called joeys, and they're born blind as with like the koala bears we were talking about, and deaf as well. So then as soon as they're born, the mum puts them in their pouches. So wombats have pouches.
Every Australian animal has a fucking pouch,
It's
man.
interesting, isn't it?
Kangaroos, wombats, koalas.
Yeah. And lastly, they live if they're in captivity, as in if they're well looked after, they can live up to 26 years, but in the wild it's only 10 to 15 years. So we should really get a wombat.
You've been facted, guys.
Yeah.
You've been facted about wombats.
How do you think you did? I think you got 2 out of 3, right? Or 1 out of 3?
No, I got 0. I got the year one wrong.
Oh yeah.
I got the.
I thought you'd get the year one right because the last few
How am I
times.
meant to guess a
Because the last few
random
times
year,
it's been
though?
like 40 million years or
All right,
something.
but 26 wasn't that far off.
Yeah.
Million years.
Yeah, it's a long time, isn't it?
It's bare long.
That's your animal fact of the week. What's your favourite part?
What is it? What part is it?
It's your favourite part. It's the one, the whole
we
purpose
just, we
of
just
this.
done Animal Fact of the Week.
Yeah.
So we can't repeat that
Guys,
again.
this one is where you will enjoy it as well because pretty much all your partners are very similar. Well, I think generically women tend to get annoyed. They're quite similar, like with men across the board. It's the argument of the week, guys. And let's just dive straight into it. What do you think you did to annoy
Introduce it for
me?
people who this is the
Yeah, that's
first
what I
time.
just said. So, okay, sorry, guys. So, this part of the podcast, we talk about the argument of the week. So, something Tez has done. I mean, it doesn't necessarily always mean that it's turned into an argument because sometimes I do bite my tongue and in my head internally, I'm like,
Or she's like, wait till I get him on the podcast.
yeah, then I'll sort him. I do that sometimes, by the way.
Idi herni.
Yeah. So, so we talk about the argument of the week. So, what do you think you've done to annoy me?
In the last 7 days,
Yeah.
since the last podcast record, I genuinely,
You've done a lot, but there one
have I?
specific thing. Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
You can't think of nothing.
I genuinely, since we last recorded a podcast, can't think of anything that I've done wrong. I can't. I think I've just been a good egg.
Should I just jump straight into it?
Yeah, go on.
So let me just see. I saw Tez do something for the first time, And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this man does this. So I had so he was doing something with his phone and I looked over and we're in a WhatsApp group and the notification came. Oh, we were about to go out for dinner. That's what it was. About to go out for dinner with Noshin and Shabaza. If you guys have been listening for a while, you'll know that. They're like close cousins, family friends for us. And
My
she,
cousin and his wife.
cousin and his wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd messaged in there to confirm like they were outside or something. I saw this man looking at his phone and he flipped the notification up. My phone was in charge. And we just carried on doing what you were doing. And I was like, are you
What do you mean?
I was like,
Yeah.
you get notifications and you just ignore them.
Yeah.
So like when I message him sometimes, he won't reply basically.
And then I'll be like, I didn't see it.
Yeah, but I can't believe that you
It's a reflex action. So basically, at that point, I was doing something work related. I was on social media, but it was work related, like posting something or something. And then something came into the corner of the eye and I just flicked it away.
But it's crazy because we're going out
Yeah.
with people
Yeah.
and the notification comes out
But I
about
didn't see it was from them. I just saw a blur come in and I was like, piss off, lad. I'm in the middle of
so
something.
you must do that with my messages.
I must do, yeah.
Yeah.
But because you get notifications for a number of things, right? You get it for this app and that, this and that, whatever. So sometimes my brain just goes into auto mode because especially if I'm focused on something, and so my brain doesn't be like, oh yeah, people might be messaging you at this point. My brain just goes, oh no, don't deal with that now because you're dealing with this.
I literally found that so crazy because I was like,
I think that's normal.
you know how many arguments we've had about this? Yeah.
Well, at least, but what was good for me is because you saw it
I saw
in
it
action.
in action.
She saw it in action, so she knows it's not malicious, which I've always said, by the way. It's not me deliberately ignoring you. It's just me being distracted by something and not realizing you messaged me. And you saw it literally in action in that I was in the middle of something and I was like, shoo. And you were like, what's that? And I was like,
But surely
and I actually didn't even know I did it. Like
But-
you said I did it. And I was like, did I? It was it was a reflex, almost like a reflex action, like almost like swatting a fly away. It was like,
so what does that mean?
it just means that
How can you
no, it means that you now understand me more. That's what it means. What does it mean? What do you think it means?
I think you need to you're too distracted on social media.
No, but I was working. We've already
But
established.
even when I'm working and
But
like
we
how
already
many
established that I
times
was work. That was work, though, wasn't it?
yeah,
It was
but even
work.
when
work.
I'm working and I see your message or whatever pop up, I do respond to you.
That's because it's on a different thing.
I just can't do it.
It's on a, like if I was on my let's example, if I was on my phone and something happened here, then I would be like, what's that? But if it's just there, I'm like,
But he's
shoot.
just chewing it. Yeah. I just found that
Yeah.
so crazy.
Yeah, so that means you know now you understand me a bit more.
I just don't know
That
what
it's
to do
not
with that.
it's not deliberate.
No, so like, do I double? But what if it's an emergency? Do I just double message?
If it's an emergency, ring
Triple
me.
message.
No, if it's an emergency, ring me.
Babe, I have called you before, and what's happened?
I've never. When do I miss your calls?
You do.
Oh, you
Last
missed
time
your
I
calls
called
this
you, and I
time,
was like, I called you, and you were like, oh yeah, I've got a missed call from you. That didn't come through, and I'm like, where did it go?
That's because my phone probably wasn't with me.
Or it came down, and you went whoop, and then you just
No.
carried
If you
on.
call me, obviously disturbs the thing in it because it starts vibrating and nine it. But now you understand me better.
Yeah, I just
So
found that.
I've told you this for 3 years, and people have been watching this since the beginning. Know that that none of what I do is deliberate. Or
Is there anyone
malicious.
else out there that does this? Please tell me because I was
I'm
really.
actually really happy that you saw that.
I knew he'd do this. He would take that. He would take that that positive thing from it rather than, oh,
No, because there's nothing. If it's a subconscious reaction, there's nothing I can do about it. Like there's nothing. It's not like I ignore you every single time. But if I'm hyper focused, I am. But my reflex reaction is to be like, go away. I'm in the middle
it'd
of
be
something.
interesting to know how many other people do it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or is it
No, I
your
genuinely.
or is it your ADHD?
Possibly.
His undiagnosed ADHD that we've all been listening to for the last.
No, because one of the
6 to
things
9
about
months.
ADHD people is sometimes they get hyper focused, and then they shut everything else
I
off.
get hyperfocus and things.
You're just you're normal. You just get normal hyper focused, isn't it? Because you said you don't get like when I'm hyper focused, everything else gets shut out. Like how many times am I focused on something and you're trying to and talking to me, and I'm like, what? And you're like, oh, you don't listen to me. I'm like, no, because you haven't got my attention. How can I listen to what you're saying if you don't have my attention?
That's all we're saying to this.
Is that it? I see. That's what I said. I said I don't have done anything.
No, but I need to know. I need to know if any
Yeah.
other people do this.
I can't be the only one.
We'll find out.
All right, let us know, guys.
Yeah, let us know.
Message us on Instagram at makingahusband_pod. Yeah, that's the best way to. Or just stop us in the street and tell us.
Yeah.
All right. Now it's a new segment where I ask Shy something. It could either be a general knowledge thing, or it could be asking her to do something related to my interests.
What?
So Shy, based on conversations we've had over the last 3 years,
All right.
and based on things that you've picked up, just that you've picked up in my orbit, right, Shy? Who do you think are
Right.
the top 5
Yeah.
best football players
Oh Lord.
of all time?
Of all time.
Of all time, yeah.
One is that guy that played with Messi who found Messi. What's his name? Maradona.
Maradona.
Yeah.
Sorry, he found Messi.
No.
Where? Where did Maradona find Messi?
No, didn't they play for
No,
the
no, tell the story. Tell the story. Tell the story of. Tell the story of where Maradona found Messi. Where did he find him?
No,
Where
because
was
you've
he?
obviously told me
No,
stuff
no,
in the past.
where were they?
Didn't he look up to him?
Right, which is a different thing to he found him.
Didn't they play in the same? Didn't Messi play for the team that he played in years
Or did-
later?
no.
Oh, I don't.
So Maradona's a lot older than Messi.
Yeah,
So by the time Messi started playing, Maradona was already long retired.
yeah.
But obviously they're both Argentinian.
Yeah.
So they both played for
That-
the Argentinian national team.
There you go. Yeah,
And Maradona was like their hero,
yeah,
basically, almost like borderline their godlike figure.
yeah.
And then you'd thought that no one would ever come even close to this. And then Messi came along and they were like, huh?
Guess see him, Messi.
So Maradona's number 1.
Yeah.
Wow, that is ball knowledge, innit? That is, wow. Go on, so you got Maradona 1,
Messi.
Messi at 2.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not, okay, go on, that's not bad.
Hakimi's probably at 4. Is that his name?
No, Hakimi's his name. You got Ashraf Hakimi at number 4 of best football players of all time.
No, but you've been obsessed with him lately.
Not with Hakimi, I haven't.
No, you've been talking. That's a 16-year-old. No, oh, is that the French guy? The one,
Hakimi's the Spanish Moroccan one.
the 16-year-old.
No,
Oh, I've got it wrong, guys. Sorry.
you're thinking of Lamine Yamal.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, why have you got Hakimi on your brain?
Because he did that.
Hakimi's the one that divorced his
vid-
wife and left everything to his mum.
Oh, no.
Remember when he divorced his wife?
Yeah,
And she
yeah.
tried to
He
get.
played for Morocco, didn't he?
Yeah, he does play for Morocco,
Yeah. See, I knew that.
but he's Spanish.
Yeah.
In the way that we're British Pakistani, he's Spanish
Okay, so
Moroccan.
not him. We're taking him out.
Okay, so Hakimi's not the 4th best player of all time.
No.
Okay.
So we've got Maradona.
So you got Maradona at 1.
Yeah.
You got Messi at 2.
Are we putting?
Did you put Yamal at 4?
No, we're taking
Okay,
him out.
you're
as
taking
well.
Yamal out. Okay.
I'm taking-
Recency. That was recency bias there. Go on. So far we've only got 2.
Who's the blonde big guy? Plays for Manchester City.
Haaland.
Is he someone?
No, this is your list. You tell me your list.
Oh no, what's his name?
Who?
The one that's gone to France. The one him and Messi were friends, and the other guy, who cheats on his wife all the time.
Neymar.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're putting Neymar in.
No, Neymar, the friend. What's his name?
Suarez.
No, I like Suarez though. He's one that beats people up.
Mbappe.
Yeah, Mbappe. Are we-
Mbappe. Okay, where are you putting Mbappe?
We'll put in Mbappe on 3.
You're putting Mbappe at 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so greatest footballers of all time. Maradona, Messi.
I don't know. Oh,
Mbappe.
wait, take it back.
Go on.
Who's the guy that played for Blackburn?
Shearer?
Yeah, we'll
Two
put
guy?
Shearer in.
You're putting Alan Shearer in, the greatest footballers of all time. Wow. All right. So we've got, where's Shearer going in? 3, 4 or 5?
We'll put Shearer in 4.
Okay. So we've got Maradona at 1, Messi at 2, Mbappe at 3,
Yeah,
Shearer at 4,
yeah. And then that
Who's
Jamal at
5?
5.
Yamal, not Jamal, Yamal, Yamal at 5. Okay.
Do you want to put
So-
Beckham in there?
Beckham at 6.
Or Wayne Rooney?
Or Wayne Rooney. So Shai's top 5. Shai thinks the
They're
5.
not mine. They're
No,
not.
I asked you who you think are the 5 greatest footballers of all time.
Oh, I thought you meant because I just hear what you're talking about.
No. You didn't even listen to the question.
Oh, wow.
I said, who are the 5 greatest footballers of all time?
Oh, okay.
in your
I need to put
from-
Ronaldo in.
Right.
Yeah, I need to put. But you don't like Ronaldo.
That's regardless.
Yeah, sorry. Ronaldo's in third.
Okay, so you got Maradona,
Yeah.
Messi,
Yeah.
Ronaldo. You're
Yeah.
salvaging this now slightly.
Yeah.
Go on, who's at 4? I didn't say who do you think are my favorite players. I said who do you think are in everything that you've learned in the last 3 years, who do you think are the best 5 footballers of all time?
I've learnt nothing.
So you got Maradona,
I promise you, I've
Messi,
learnt nothing.
Ronaldo. That's not a bad list, that. That'd be most people's top, maybe a different order, but that'd be a lot of people's top 3.
Mbappe.
Mbappe at 4. Okay, who else? I feel like now just naming players that you can remember. Hakimi at 5?
Who's the guy that when the French president was shaking hands and him and his
That was
mate
Hakimi.
Oh yeah, that's
That
what I
was
was thinking of
Hakimi,
him.
the one that was staring at Macron's wife and going.
And the last one I'm gonna put down.
So based on that, Hakimi's the 4th best player of all time. Go on. So Mbappe's at 4. Who's at 5th?
I'm gonna put Neymar at 5th.
Neymar at 5th.
Yeah.
A lot of people are very happy about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've omitted Pele.
Don't know who that
Pele doesn't exist. Zinedine Zidane doesn't exist.
Oh no, I like Zidane. I'm gonna remove Neymar and put Zidane in.
You put Zidane at 5.
Yeah.
What about Fat Ronaldo?
Oh, he's a good one.
Yeah.
Let's take Mbappe out and put him there.
Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Pele no though.
I don't know. I still don't know who that is.
You don't know who Pele is. Okay.
No.
That's not a bad top 5, that.
Yeah.
Maradona, Messi, Ronaldo, Fat Ronaldo, and Zidane.
Yeah.
That's a reasonable top 5.
I don't know about Fat Ronaldo because he was in the David Beckham documentary, wasn't he?
Probably.
Yeah.
So honourable mentions to Jamal, Ashraf Hakimi, Alan Shearer, and who else? Wayne Rooney, Beckham, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I feel like you left him out as well.
Who's the one that beats people up?
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah. I pick up all these random things through like.
That's not a bad top 5 though. I
Yeah.
think it took us a while, but you nailed that actually.
Who's your top 5 then?
It would go Messi, Maradona, Pele, Cristiano Ronaldo.
It's all quite similar.
Yeah, and then probably between R9, Fat Ronaldo, Zidane, and Cruyff. Somewhere.
Sounds good.
Yeah, decent. Hakimi, just at 7th. That was a good segment, wasn't it?
It
That was a nice new
Yeah.
segment. Right, now it's another new segment. It's dilemma time. And it's not the dilemmas that you're used to. That'll be coming. The agony and unhelpful uncle section is still coming. But this is a new section where I am going to give Shy a dilemma and see what she thinks about it. And then we'll discuss it. Okay, Shy. Would you rather be the smartest person in the world or the stupidest person in the world? But in both instances, you're still as clever as you are now. So you're you. So you're you, right? So would you rather everyone else in the world is smarter than you are? Or would you rather everyone else in the world is dumber than you are? It's either or. So you're either going to be the dumbest person then in the world because everyone's smarter than you, or you're going to be the smartest person in the world because everyone is dumber than you. But nothing about you has changed. You're you.
Oh, that's
you're still
difficult because I like learning from people. And I won't learn anything then.
No, stupid people who are less smart than you still probably can teach you things.
I'm smarter than everyone.
You're smarter than everyone, but you're not any more intelligent than you are now. You're as intelligent as you are now. So wherever you rate yourself as, but no one is smarter than that in the planet.
What would you do?
No, I just want to know.
What
you do first. No, because you're going to copy me. Go on, what would you do?
No, you tell me that.
Give me an answer.
You tell me that.
Give me an answer.
You tell me that.
Go on.
I would be the one where I would just be the dumbest.
Yeah, okay.
I'm happy with that.
So you're the dumbest person on the planet. Why?
Because there are a lot of clever people out there that could, find new things or discoveries. And, there's a risk of, let's just be honest, like, I might not find it.
The tiny risk that you might not be able to get us to Mars.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my reason as well.
Oh, so we're quite similar.
Yeah, in that, obviously it'd be nice to be the smartest person on the planet.
Yeah.
But I know I am probably average intelligence right now across the whole planet. Probably somewhere maybe I like to think slightly above average, but nowhere near like the top anyway. And then if I'm the smartest person on the planet, nothing's gonna get done.
Yeah.
Because I could learn some things,
Yeah.
but like, who's gonna discover things?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But even right now, like, if everyone was dumb, even if it was like, oh, like upgrading your iPhone, right? Making the next iPhone. If I'm the smartest person on the planet, I have not even a clue how you'd start doing that.
You'd have to do everything.
Not me would have to do everything, but
But you'd have to teach people to do everything.
not necessarily. They could learn, but they're not any smarter than I
Where are they
am.
going to learn from?
Like, people who are less smart than me can probably do more impressive things than me, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure people who make this, like, there must be one or two people that I'm smarter than in that room.
Yeah,
But they can
yeah.
still make this, right? But it's like, but there must be a cap on what could be made in the
You
future.
thought I was going to say that I'd be the most cleverest, didn't I?
I wanted you to
Yeah,
say that. Yeah,
I knew what he was. I knew that.
I feel like
I'm humble.
I feel like if this was a car conversation and there were no cameras
I'd
on,
be like, I don't get it.
you're basically Einstein, right? You know how people say, "Oh, all right, Einstein." They'd be like, "All right, Shy,"
Yeah.
because you're the smartest. That's you're the baseline for smartness, right? So they'd be like, "Oh, there's a meteor that's headed for the planet, and it's gonna reach the planet in like 6 months' time. Well, like, what can we do to like stop the meteor from?" So normally you'd be like, "Oh, send a rocket there or something like that," innit?
Yeah.
But they'd be like, "All right, how do we do that?" And you're like,
Ask Elon Musk.
and Elon's like, he's not any smart. He's less smart than you are.
Yeah, Elon's dumb in that.
Yeah, he's more dumb than you are, though. Even in this scenario, wherever he is right now, in this scenario, he's dumber than you anyway, right? So he'll be like, yeah, how do I do it? Like, yeah, I'm up for it. I've got the money to buy the materials.
Yeah.
How do I do it though? And
So
you're like,
I'm happy being the dumb though.
yeah, innit? Because yeah, that's definitely the right answer.
Yeah. See, he's a bit disappointed. He thought I would say the other one.
She got it right, guys. Guys, another quick fire round where we talk about an interaction of the week.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
How did you guys interact with it this week that was quite funny
Yeah,
or memorable?
yeah. How?
So it didn't happen this week, but it happened quite recently.
Gone.
I was in Leicester.
Was I with you?
You were with me.
Right.
Do you remember this? So we're in Leicester, right? And we just need we're in the town centre. We need the train station, and we crossed the road. And I clocked someone look at me. I think it was a woman, and she looked at me, right? And then she's carried on walking on that. And I was like, and then I think we both noticed it, like, you know, when people stare and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I think
yeah.
we both kind of noticed it that, like,
Did I?
that, like, oh,
The woman checking you out?
She was checking you out. She was staring, right? Whatever. Anyway, so she crossed the road, and we're like, whatever. A few hours later, might be in the same day, might be the next day or whatever, get a random request in the messages saying, "Oh, were you outside?"
Oh, it was the same day.
Was it the same day?
Same day.
Oh, were you outside Leicester Station today? And then I just responded with, "Oh yeah, that was me." And then the person replied going, "Okay."
Yeah, just okay.
That was the end of the. That was it.
Yeah.
The
Tez was
person,
baffled.
the person wasn't following me.
No.
Didn't follow me afterwards on social media, and their response was literally the word "O" and "K," not even OKAY. Thumbs up, like, "Oh, okay, cool. I thought it was you." Just the words "O" and "K," just the letters O and K. That was the end of the entire interaction.
That humbled him, basically.
No, but I don't. Like, why did they care? They obviously couldn't care less about me, right? This is fine. They couldn't care less about me, right? Because they weren't excited about it. They weren't disappointed about it, right?
They're just like, okay.
They were just like, okay, but like,
They're like, why were you in my town
but
for?
why were they asking then?
I love those kind of people though.
Okay.
Can you imagine just walking randomly, you just see someone, you're like, I'm just gonna message them, and then they reply, and then you just say, "Oh, were you here?" And they say yes, and you're like, okay.
But it was very like, they obviously didn't care about me at all, because they weren't like following me, but they obviously knew who I was enough to recognize whatever, remember whatever. It was just so bizarre. I was like, oh, wow. I had so many questions. I didn't reply, but I had so many questions though. I was like, why are you asking?
If you're listening to this and you're still not following Tez, please
They're
tell us.
definitely not a fan,
No.
but they still wanted to know though.
Yeah.
Maybe they wanted to tell people who are fans,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, so I met him by the way, whatever, with some woman,
Yeah.
whatever,
some lady that he's just married to.
some skank. Not my words. These are her words.
She said okay, and now you're saying that she called me a skank.
Probably. She was like, oh, he's some skank. What? She's not a nice person.
Guys, we are at I can't find my words today. I think it's harder when the cameras are on.
You know what it is? It is.
It is,
It
isn't
feels
it?
less. It's harder to have a more. It's harder to have a natural conversation.
Yeah.
I think when
We'll
the
get
cameras are
better.
on.
I mean, will
Yeah,
we?
it will.
Um,
We'll have to.
we're at that point of the podcast where we talk about a dilemma or a Reddit story that I may have come across. It's like an agony aunt / grumpy uncle advice. It feels weird calling myself an agony aunt because I don't feel like I am.
You are definitely an agony and I'm an unhelpful. So this is the agony and unhelpful
Helpful.
uncle
Yeah.
section.
So what we're gonna so if you guys have tuned in for a while, you'll know that we talk about this regularly, every week. And today we are going to talk about a listener dilemma. So it's someone that actually messaged in. She messaged in a few weeks ago, but because we record it like sometimes a week, 2 weeks in advance, we it takes a little while to get to your dilemma. So let me just find it very quickly. So the way to send us a message is on the Instagram account or drop
What
us a DM,
what
which
is
is
what is the Instagram
making a
account?
husband _pod.
You looked at you're looking at a phone then.
Got it right, guys. So this is from a female
Mm.
who's a regular listener of ours. Oh, that's really sweet. She goes, I've been listening since the beginning. So
Oh.
she is. So it's important to hear the details. So she's 32,
Mm.
and let me just start from. So I might chop out a few bits.
From where?
I'm assuming she's from the UK, but she hasn't said what area. I should have asked her, but it doesn't matter. She's from the UK.
Okay. So 32 female Asian,
Yes.
Muslim
Yeah.
from the UK.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So it just says an acquaintance approached me a while ago to ask if I was looking for a partner for a marriage, and I said yes, and she suggested someone, so we met for a coffee. When we met, it was a little awkward. He paid for his own drink, but didn't offer to pay for mine. By the way, this guy's 27.
So she's 32.
Yeah.
And he's 27.
Yeah.
Cradle snatching. I like it. I rate it.
I gave him the benefit of doubt and paid for my own, and we had a nice conversation. We were keen to take things forward and on getting to know each other through messages. He said he would expect his wife to pay 50-50 finances and for his wife to move in with his sisters and mum, as he wouldn't be able to afford the running of the household on his own. I told him this wasn't compatible with my life plans, as I would want to stop working after having children, so he said he didn't think we are compatible long term and wished me well.
All right.
Okay. A few days later, I then got a call from the acquaintance's mum who had introduced us, in which she said the guy told her it wasn't going to work because I still wanted to travel on my own after marriage. I clarified with her that this isn't what I said, and actually said that I would still want to travel with my family and friends, but obviously the priority would be traveling with my husband first. I also
hang on. So he's gone
lied.
back to her friend.
Yeah.
And said, the reason it didn't work out is because she wants to travel on her own and stuff, and that I'm not really into that.
Yep.
Even though it was because
he's
of the finances.
stingy.
Yeah, gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
I also told her that it was him, in fact, who said we wouldn't be compatible based on him wanting someone who would contribute 50-50 to the household, which I wasn't very keen on doing, especially if it's me moving in to live with his wider family. It's not something that I'm fond of. Initially, his profile said that he would move out after marriage, which was one of the reasons why I was happy to consider him. But then when we met, he said he wanted me to live with his mum and sisters. The auntie then proceeded to say that women need to compromise and that she's met many older women in their 40s and 50s who are depressed because they didn't marry and career isn't everything.
Oof,
Those aunties need to mind their own business.
Famous guilt trip.
Yeah. She also said that everyone she knows does 50-50 marriages, and the thing of women not contributing to the mortgage bills is a thing of the past. It's become slightly awkward when I said I spoke to both a trusted friend who is married, who said her husband provides a mortgage and bills for her, not expecting her to contribute. From how the situation has gone, I'm glad it's not worked out. I'm also not keen on the 50-50 split on everything, and the fact he couldn't even offer to pay for a drink suggests it would have been a very transactional relationship. It's been a very stressful experience, and with the search for marriage has been so difficult, and it's making me think whether I should compromise on what I'm wanting. Am I expecting too much? Your thoughts would be appreciated. I feel quite pressured by the auntie that I should reconsider, but equally feel firm that I don't want to settle. And just for context, the guy's 27 and I'm 32. And apparently the guy's mature for his age. Right. First of all,
go on. I feel like you've got a lot to say. Go on.
Why are you not paying for a drink? Like, I don't understand. Why it's not you're not paying for a £150 lavish dinner on a first date. If you're just meeting for a coffee, why are you not paying for the other person's coffee? I don't get it.
Yeah, I understand it sometimes where you like if you're going out for a meal and even then the guy should be paying. But if it's like a meal somewhere, whatever, right? Fine, brother, pay for one coffee, innit?
Yeah.
Pay for a hot chocolate.
Yeah. You'd pay for
Pay
your
for the
friend's hot
l-
chocolate.
pay for the little biscuit on the side. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like £4, bro.
And secondly, my problem with this is he's saying that he wants her to contribute, but move in with his mum and sisters.
So then contribute to what?
So what? So I'm
The
sorry.
household bills?
Yeah. So is your mum and sisters paying or not? Or do you expect some woman to come in and take on
And
the
like,
bills for your mum and sisters? Because I don't agree with that.
yeah, no, not at all. I think, right. So she said, should I compromise? Ultimately, right, whoever you end up marrying, you will have to compromise a little bit
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
So
that comes
so
with
the
that.
answer is the easy answer to that is yes. Yes, you will need to. Should you compromise in this instance? No. There's obviously,
He's not. Do not go there.
yeah, you obviously not compatible with each other, right? So whatever, good luck to him, good luck, and obviously good luck to you because you're our interested in this. Now, couple of things. Finances. It's good that you had the conversation early. I mean, first date might be a bit too early, but guys, if you're looking for a partner, yeah, find someone who you find attractive and have chemistry with first.
Yeah.
What's this like? I feel like trying to find out how much people earn and all this, that stuff is important, don't get me wrong. But like, find that out after you find out if you like someone or not. Like, why is that I don't know. Maybe I'm just built different, but why is that a priority?
I think when it comes to so for the finance thing, we live in a day of an age where it is normal for a woman to contribute to the household, right? And that's completely normal.
It is difficult
Yeah,
in 2025. It
yeah,
is difficult to maintain a nice house
yeah, comfortable house, one wage,
on one salary.
and that
It's tricky.
yeah, and but if you are someone, and like she said, she wants to meet someone where she can have children and stop working, that's completely fine. That's also completely acceptable. You can mine and Tez's finances is simple. Like, he earns more than me, which is fine because majority of the time in relationships one person will earn more than the other, and that's completely fine. So when it comes to contributing, like Tez, for example, he might do like 75%, I'll do 25%, 70-30, 60-40, whatever. It's never 50-50 with us, and that's
No,
completely fine
but
because
two circumstances are different.
yeah, everyone's circumstance. I've got friends who are 50-50. I've got friends who the female pays more, for example, because she's in a better role. But she'd also they want to maintain the lifestyle that they have. And that's completely fine. But
And I've got examples where the man pays for everything
yeah,
as well.
or there are
Yeah,
people
yeah,
that
yeah.
men pay for everything. And that's also completely fine. But you can't expect, and I find that so bizarre, he can't expect her to move in with his family
He
and be
feels
like, you've got to
very,
pay
very,
50
very,
50.
very entitled.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if she's moving into your family home, why is she paying for anything apart from her own bills?
Yeah, 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 yeah. How are
Like,
you managing now?
like,
Like, how are you managing now should be how you're carrying forward, right?
yeah, like if
Because
you were moving in, like when you moved into mum's,
yeah, I didn't pay
you
anything.
weren't paying for any bills.
No,
I'm like, oh yeah, Shy, could you pay for
no. Imagine if I moved in and you were like, "Oh,
electricity and
you're
that?
paying, you're paying the gas, electric now
Yeah,
monthly."
nah. Like, yeah, I'd help my mum out
Yeah.
with that, obviously, but you wouldn't be doing it.
No. If, for example, I moved in and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I want to do this and this," and you're like, "Oh, do you know what, babe? I'm a bit stretched and stuff," and I might be like, "You know what? Let me take something off your shoulders, and
Mm.
but in return, we can do this and this and this." But yeah, I disagree with that. I'll be honest, when I read that, I didn't even stop to say, hold on, and we'll give you a response later. I actually responded to go immediately and said, from my
Yeah,
perspective, you're doing the right thing. Don't entertain her.
there's a few things here. One, that auntie needs to get off your back.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're look, we're actually auntie and uncle age now, and I assume a lot of people listening to this are also. And I feel like hopefully we'll be better aunties and uncles than the generation before us.
Yeah.
Stop pressuring kids to get married.
Yeah.
Like, it is better to be single
Yep.
than
Marry the wrong person.
marry the wrong person and be trapped in an unhappy marriage.
Yep.
I tell you, because we've both been there.
Yep.
It is hell. It is a prison sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So stop emotionally blackmailing people
Yep.
into relationships that they are not suited that they are not suited for.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
And we're not sitting here and saying don't ever get married either. We're just saying that.
No, hopefully they get married.
Yeah, and
Half
you
your
will,
deen.
but being 32 is not the end of the world. It's really not the end of the world. And if you need to compromise, compromise. Like there is an element of compromise. You might not meet someone. You might not meet someone in today's generation that is going to say, right, I am going to pay for the full 100%. You might, but the chances are you might not as well, and that's completely fine.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's completely fine.
Even on a decent salary, it's hard to completely pay
Of course it
100% of the
is.
bills.
Yeah, unless you're in like the top earners of
Yeah,
and
or you're a successful business person.
yeah, and your luxury is very limited. Like, as in, you don't do stuff like a lot of the time. I was saying this to Tez, like, Alhamdulillah, like we are okay because we both work and we can fund our life, right? But I can safely say, if I was to give up work, I'd have to give up certain things. I wouldn't be able to buy like
Yeah.
so I wouldn't be shop as much. I wouldn't be able to go away as much and stuff, and that's completely fine.
Yeah, if Shai gave up work today,
Mm,
I could manage the household.
mm.
But then, yeah, as Shai said, like the certain things, our lifestyle would be reduced.
Yeah.
The quality of our lifestyle, the quality of our expenses and
Yeah.
eating out and all that would be drastically reduced.
Yeah,
Because
and my
it is what it is.
and my outgoings solely are my outgoings, right? Because I am high maintenance like that, but I'm one of those people where I'm like, if I'm working, then I've got what am I working for? And
Yeah,
that's fine
true,
because he's like, yeah, it's true.
true. So a couple of things. One, aunties get off people's backs. Feel free to introduce people.
Yeah,
If it's a no, it's a no. Yeah, if it's a no for a superfluous reason,
superfluous.
then fair enough. You could be like, hey, listen, is that really a thing?
Mm.
But this is quite. Sister's got very, very valid points.
Yeah.
Like this is not compatible. This is not a compatible relationship.
And the next and finally, the next time, if you go and a guy doesn't pay for coffee, just be like, oh, okay. Like you just be like,
You
oh,
don't just say
okay.
anything, but you just it's
Yeah.
odd that
Yeah.
you're not paying for a coffee on
Yeah.
a first date. Like that's
And that's like you look £2-3. That's
yeah, that's yeah. I don't like using the words like red flag, green flag, or whatever. But like it is odd that
Yeah.
you can't pay for a coffee.
yeah.
Like you pay coffee for a stranger,
Yeah.
let alone someone you're going on a date,
Yeah.
a getting to know date with or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd. But also like compromise for things that need to be compromised for. If you got red lines, then keep them.
Yep.
They're probably there for good reason.
Mm-hmm.
But also like just let's be a bit old fashioned. Let's fall in love with someone because we like how they are. We like how they make us feel. We like how they look. You know, like have some. Like for me, the most important things is attractiveness, chemistry, compatibility.
Yes.
You have to have all those things.
Intelligence. I'm so funny.
Sense of humor,
Mm.
patience.
Mm.
Anything else you wanted to tell the sister? Because
No, that's it.
keep searching. Don't give up.
And like we always say, guys, please, like if you have sent us a message and we've discussed a dilemma and something positive does come from it, let us know. Because honestly, we get super. Like, sometimes I say to Tez, "Oh my god, so and so messaged who spoken to us before, and it's some positive news, and we love it. We get like we really like it, and we kind of like, yay,
Yay.
yeah." So,
Yeah. Anything else you want to say to the sister?
no, that's it. You'll be fine. You're 30. Listen, you're
Yeah,
32.
listen.
Focus on your career as much as you want to focus on your career, and you will find someone. I'm a big believer on
Yeah,
that.
and keep open-minded. Keep
Yep.
trying to meet people and getting to know people and stuff. Because unfortunately, you do have to go through a lot of rotten apples to meet the nice shiny one.
Yeah.
And it works both ways, men and women. And that guy as well. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully, you find someone that will fund your and your sister's lifestyle.
Yeah. Please don't be that guy.
Go, brother, do it. Hopefully, you find someone to buy you coffees. Get in there. Thanks, guys.
It's the end of the episode.
Thanks for joining us on this first visual episode of the Making a Husband podcast. I'm not going to lie, you won't know this because it'll have been edited very smoothly. We did have some teething problems.
Yeah.
All three, we got 3 cameras. All of the batteries died at one point or the other during this record. So there's a couple of things we need to work out. But thank you so much. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any feedback, let us in privately. Let us know in private what the feedback is.
Privately.
Privately.
Yeah.
Let us know what the feedback is. Obviously, it's a little bit different to what you're used to. A couple of new segments, a couple of things have been moved around. So let us know, regular listeners, what you thought of the changes. And yeah, thank you so much. Please keep sharing it. Please keep following us, obviously,
Yeah.
and leaving us 5-star reviews and leave us nice comments under the videos, because it helps all this stuff. We just need to bust the algorithm.
Yep.
And share our clips when you see it on social media. Is honestly that we want to grow this podcast, and the more we can grow it, the more we can bring you more exciting things, bonus episodes, a live tour, all that sort of stuff. We can only do that if if the podcast continues to grow. So if you any sort of content you see from us, please just like it and share it, and convince other people, like-minded people, to start listening and or watching now.
Yeah. Yeah. That feels weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does feel weird. And yeah, if you find this a little bit awkward, we also found it a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
But we'll get better as we get more comfortable being in
Yes.
front of camera and have a more natural conversation, as we did when it was audio only. I think ultimately we just got to ignore this
Yeah.
and just do this
Focus on
more
this. Yeah.
and do
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Shai?
What are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for this week is the fact that I've got a wife who cares for me very, very much, who
Oh.
makes sure that I'm well dressed and well fed and well looked after,
That's very
mentally
lovely.
and also physically.
That's very nice.
What are you grateful for? That
I'm
someone buys you a coffee.
oh, I am very grateful. Do you know what? Yeah. I was going to say something else, but it's true because Tez's biggest green flag, and this is like years on, is this man, if you've heard the podcast before, does not like, he doesn't drink tea or coffee. Like, he's not a tea or coffee person at all. But he will ensure that wherever we go, that he will locate or find the best type of places for coffees, and he'll take me there. And
It's true.
and wherever we go,
It's
holidays,
true.
countries, wherever.
It's true. I do
And
do
I'm very
that.
grateful for that.
I do.
Because
That's true.
I think that's very, very thoughtful.
That's very true. I do do that. That's completely facts.
Remember, guys, tell your wives, your partners or partner. I don't know why we act like we encourage this whole like more than one person relationship.
Your wives and your guys.
Your wives and your
No,
guys.
because we're talking to everyone. So we're saying everyone, tell your wives and your guys.
And your family, though, your siblings, your friends, your parents, everything. Anyone.
And that guy who loves his sisters and mum so much.
What you are grateful for this week. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.